We welcome you today from a new episode from Field to the Plate. We're going to be making some deer poppers today, and I make them a little different than anybody else, probably, or I think I do. Over the years, I've learned a few things that helps. One of the first things I do, I pre-cook my bacon to about halfway, take it out, let it cool. In past times, I found if you wrap it with raw bacon, and by the time you put it in the oven, the deer meat and everything else and cheese is way overcooked and melted out by the time the bacon gets crispy like I like it. So this helps. That's just a pointer I use. Doesn't mean that you have to. The venison or deer meat I'm using tonight's one I harvested this past fall, and you know, Super Bowl's coming up, college football season just passed, come up. Everybody likes making finger foods to eat weekends. Why not use your venison or deer meat to do it? We do it at my house. So I want to share this quick segment. It's, you know, probably prep time overnight, because of course I'll take my deer tenderloin or steaks and I'll cut them in small pieces. I'll use a meat mallet or tenderizer, tenderize them out. I soak them in Italian dressing overnight. The next evening when I get ready to assemble them, I've already pre-cooked my bacon. I can some homemade jalapenos. I usually can several jars a year. I use them in recipes throughout the year. It's something you just go off the shelf, get them. You don't have to worry about running to a store. You don't have canned ones. Fresh ones are great. Go store, get some fresh jalapenos. Works just as good. Sometimes I use toothpicks. And or you can use wood skewers, either or, but I cut them in small segments, pieces, and I'll soak them in water, and that'll keep them from burning up in the oven. Assembly is easy. A couple other things I want to go over. I usually turn my oven to 350. It's been preheated. I'll cook these in an iron skillet, and actually I'll go ahead and take it out, and it's already preheated to 350. It's just something I do. It's crispy on the bottom already. Bacon starts cooking as soon as you put it in it. It helps the cooking time a little bit. Assembly is really easy. I take a piece of bacon. It's already cooled enough to touch. I'll take a decent sized piece of venison. I'll put it in there just like that. Take a whole jalapeno, and I don't put the cheese in it yet. What I'll do, I'll start wrapping it. And you can either wrap the bacon in it, but what I'd rather do is take the jalapeno, if you can see this. I'll fold my deer meat around it, and it's super thin, and it's already marinated. I'll bring it back to the start of my bacon, and I'll just roll it up in there like that. Ain't no use to waste it. Double wrap it. It takes that much longer to get done. And then I'll just stick a toothpick through it so it stays together. And you can hear the sizzle right now because of the deer meat. I'll finish assembling these. You can simple, just deer meat, bacon, toothpick, hold it together, put it in there. And I'll keep making these. I do, you want to check your jalapenos. Sometimes they can be super hot. They was super hot, so I took the seeds membrane out of it. Not everybody likes hot food, so if you're making them for a crowd, easily just make them to where you take the seeds out, and they'll, you'll have more friends. They won't get as mad at you. They're super hot. My wife, she doesn't like hot food, so I'll try to accommodate everybody that's there. And if you want it hotter, you can add hot sauce. This thick bacon, as big as it is, you're better off to cut it in half. It just goes further. And like I said, if you don't, then you just end up wasting it, and it don't cook as crispy as I like it. I like bacon crispy. I think everybody does that. So really look forward to football, the playoffs, some other stuff that you can do with deer meat, and I've made it a few times, but this year I had the people that process my deer, I had them make some deer summer sausage, and most people that's ever eat that, they like it. It's really good. You can make a little tray, you can make some poppers, you can make some deer summer sausage. We actually grind a lot of venison and mix it with some pork and beef, and you can make your queso dip with that. So you can actually, a lot of people has misconception of wild game and the versatility of it, of actually what all you can do with it. You know, you can do as much with it as you can beef or pork or whatever. It's just a matter of trying recipes and asking people and getting stuff that you can do. So to say the least, we try a lot of different recipes. Some's good, some's bad. Some don't turn out so good, but you know, that's cooking, right? If we's all experts in it, that wouldn't be no fun. It's always, if you're at deer camp, it's great. Some of you guys out there might have a deer camp you go to each year, and you know, you got your buddies there, and you guys are sitting around making poppers or whatever, and y'all can sit and talk about stories of the deer that you're making them out of, that hunt or whatever. It's always great and fun to do that, and you know, this is just part of it that you can part of the excitement of the hunt and being with friends to do that. You can also make these with dove. A lot of people that kill dove, they don't like them because they haven't never cooked them a way that's good. Dove is more of a, I don't think it tastes like liver. A lot of people thinks it does, but it's sort of that consistency or consistence of liver, and it remind you of the texture. And it's a very red meat. But one thing you can do with it is make poppers like this, and I do them on a grill. I'll roll them up like this. I'll stuff them with cheese actually, and I'll put them in a pan. But I'll pour either I get Asian marinade sometimes, any Asian marinade, no certain brand. I've tried 2 or 3 that works really well. That's good. You can actually make and pour that in them while you're grilling them. Let them cook for a long time, and they're great. They got such good flavor. That's another thing that you can do. Make these, and everybody's really enjoyed them. We've made them with blue cheese stuffed olives, with dove breast, with deer. There's so many different ways and varieties that you can make this. And I'm actually picking out some of the smaller pieces because I want to fry some venison and later, and I'm going to use some of that. So this will be the last one of these that we make. Oh, toothpicks broke. Let's try another one. Okay. So let me wash my hands and I'll be right back. Now, if you see, we got several of these assembled. Usually you make a pan full. This is all I'm making tonight. The pan was already preheated. We'll be putting these in the oven for probably 25-30 minutes, check on them, and whenever we come back, I'll show you how to finish them. Welcome back. The football game's getting ready to come on a little bit, and we're getting ready to bring the poppers out of the oven. I'm going to show you how to finish those. Please use something to get them out with. It's extremely hot. If you can see, bacon's cooked down pretty good. We don't want it burned. And got some cheddar cheese left. I like to, let me find me a fork. I like to kindly scoot these together a little bit so you don't lose as much cheese on them. Put the toothpicks up so you can grab a hold of them in a minute, because that's the easiest way to get them back out. So I'll flip them all up. Okay, that way you can grab them when you get them out. Just some grated cheddar cheese. You don't have a grate it. I got a block and grate it. You can get it already in a bag, graded if you want to, but please use a lot of cheese. Don't get stingy with it. That's where all the goodness comes from. And we'll actually just put these back in the oven for just a second. We'll turn on broil and we'll let it get brown and done. So we want to stop it. See, cancel. We'll turn on broil and push start, and it won't take it long. The cheese to get melted. It's been great. I think you'll enjoy these as we take them out in a minute, and it's a great appetizer for, like I said, the ball games, friends coming over, you're at hunting camp, throw some of these in, cook them of eating while you're all telling hunting stories, fishing stories, whatever it is. One good thing about cooking venison, deer meat, any wild game that we was talking about earlier, take your time, field dress it correctly, cut it up correctly. Take your time and do it right, and it's some of the best meat you can eat. The hunt don't end when you kill something, or it ends when you finish it all. That's all the way down to, getting it ready, preparing to eat, and the complete meal. So, and that's as sportsmen, what we should take away from it is completely, take pride in all of it. If you're gonna do part of it, do it all correctly, right. Do it humanely and enjoy it. Let's see how our peppers are coming. It's melting. It'll just be a few seconds, they'll be ready to take out. Hope y'all have enjoyed the show, and I hope y'all take something from it, that there are a lot more to do with wild game. And I think if people would ever get out and start cooking wild game, and there'd be more people that would like to hunt and fish if you've seen all the variety and things that you can do with it. And that's my focus and goal on this show, is not only to take you on good hunts and hopefully show you how to maybe catch a fish or set a trot line or shoot a bird out in the field over my bird dogs, or maybe eventually go on a deer hunt and show you part of that. But also is, all the other parts of it, either cooking or field dressing and enjoying that part of it with your family and friends. And I always mention, as a Christian, I always take God into outdoors with me, because when I'm sitting there, I see everything that He made for us, and He gives us the ability to do that. And that's just awesome knowing that He did that for us and we're able to enjoy it. So that's why I take pride in all aspects of it. Let's check our poppers. They're done. And they're hot. Extremely hot. Let me rearrange that. Turn the oven off. Okay, oven's off. I'm not going to hold it up because they're so hot. If you can see that, the cheese is melted, it's crispy. Please do not take these straight out and eat them. They will burn your mouth. Let them cool for a minute, cheese melt on them. But let's do it this way. And if you can see it, you can see the pepper and the deer meat in there, and it'll be super good. So we'd like to thank you for joining us today on this show. We want to thank MTTV, Mountain Telephone Television, for hosting this, filming it, and doing everything, letting me be part of their company and part of this, to be able to show you guys what I enjoy. I thank them for that. We also want to thank Bank of Mountains for letting us use this facility. It's great, great place. If you need to book an event, call them and set it up, and they'll take care of you. And we appreciate y'all, and we thank you all again. Welcome to From the Field to the Table, and we look forward to seeing you on the next cooking show. Thanks.